the statement, and they say that Vice President Bawumia should come to Parliament today. And participate in a debate on the mid-year budget review that was done, the presentation that was done. Vice presidents who are also head of the economic management team are allowed to participate in the debate. They should do that and stop calling for debates between John Mahama and Dr. Bawumia. But the majority are saying that, you MPs, in fact, encourage your flag bearer to come and be a part of a debate. So it's bringing us to the question that we are asking this morning, whether or not there should be a debate and how significant it will be if it should actually happen. Dr. Frederick Oduro has joined us on the line. Dr. Frederick Oduro is a governance expert. Dr. Oduro, good morning.
Good morning, Lantam.
Thank you very much for joining us here on the Morning Star. I hope you're doing well.
I'm doing quite well.
Good to know. And thank you very much for joining us once again. What are your perspective, or what perspective do you have about all the calls that are being made for there to be a debate between the presidential candidates that we have? I mean, notably the two front runners, John Mahama and Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia.
Okay, again, we have an age-old problem, but let me speak to it this way. You see, generally speaking, it is good for the optics of democracy to have this sort of thing, the debate that we are all clamoring for. It is very good. The good side to it is it allows us to move away from unnecessary personality attacks to issue-based discussions of national issues. Then we can have common issues and get responses to some of these things as to how each side would consider some of the critical national issues that will be at play during the discussion or the debate. So it does help to bring about that engagement that you also want to see happening between political parties, because we have a history of people just going on any tangent they choose so as to get votes, but not people engaging on specific matters as well. They will be handling it. So that is one of the essence of, the importance of having the debate. But be as it may, even somebody can come to a debate, say whatever he thinks people want to hear, but they may come into office and not do anything. So you look at that and you ask yourself, is it even worth having that debate? Again, politicians or political parties are very careful getting into debates because you look at your opponent, and some politicians are better at political debates than others. So if somebody thinks the debate can put them in a bad light, they would rather choose not to be in the debate. And especially those who are considered front runners also feel that, look, I won't give you a debate to give you any leverage for you to go past me. I mean, a critical example is look at the recent U.S. election, that a whole sitting president has been compelled by his own party people to step down because his performance in one debate was considered so abysmal that, the polls were turning against them. I'm talking about President Joe Biden in his debate with former President Trump. So it tells you that debates can be very significant in politics. But I think that if you think the debate will not give you any leverage or that you stand to lose because your opponent can do better than you, it's better not to go into the debate. But that will not it doesn't take too much away from the political process if one side does not go into it. Of course, I know when one side decides not to go in, the other party that is clamoring for it will rather choose to say you are running away and all that. But sometimes, strategically, if you think that you are doing better than your opponent, and that your opponent could use that as a leverage to get back into the race, you rather should choose not to engage in the debate rather than engage in it.
In terms of appealing to those who may not have made up their minds yet about who they want to vote for, do you reckon that a debate where we subject the things that the candidates are saying to scrutiny, by whoever is moderating the debate, among other things, will that aid in helping those who are undecided to decide who to vote for?
Lantam, again, we have a problem, and I'm not getting the import of what we hear.
If you can hear me, Doc, I'm just asking, will the debate help people to decide who they want to vote for?
Wow.
Hello, Dr. Oduro. Wow. Okay.
Yes, I'm here.
Yes, I'm asking whether or not a debate will help people who are undecided to decide who to vote for. Did you hear that?
I'm very sorry. I can't.
Too bad.
It's terribly bad.
All right, too bad. We'll call back.
Dr. Frederick Oduro there is a governance expert. Of course, we've heard his initial remarks on this subject matter. We just wanted to extend that conversation, but unfortunately the phone lines are failing us. And so we're working the lines to get back to speak to him on this matter so that we can finish our conversation on this issue of to debate or not to debate. That is the question. Reminding you also that you can join us on our Facebook live stream at Starr 1035 FM, and let's hear what you've also got to say on this particular subject matter with your comments. Let's try and connect once again to Dr. Frederick Oduro.
Dr. Oduro, can you hear me now?
It's better.
Yes.
Very, very good.
So I was asking whether or not a debate will help people who are undecided to decide who they want to vote for.
I believe so. I believe some people would want to look at your oratory. Some people would want to look at how well you think on your feet. Some people would even judge your consistency or your candidness in a debate, because this one is spontaneous. I mean, the questions are coming to you in a spontaneous manner, and you have to think on your feet and respond to it. Because, you see, people may be able to hoodwink you by telling you, oh, I'm going to do A, B, C, D. On campaign platform, people may not be able to talk, or they would have rehearsed what they are going to say. But then in a debate, there is some element of spontaneity, and the questions are put to you. If you have a plan on it, you have to say it. If you don't have a plan, I mean, it's obvious. So, of course, discerning people would be able to tell that, in fact, this person is candidate here, that person is not on top of the issue here, and all that. So some people could be swayed by performances in a debate.
Now, moving forward, should the two leading candidates do a debate? Should they do it? What's your opinion?
On a personal level, I think it would be good for the two leading candidates, and possibly even, I would go on and say, even their running mates should also be in a debate. I am restricting it to the two leading candidates, because I don't think in our politics for now there are any serious third force in it. And two, history has shown us that in fact the very last debate we had in this country was terribly marred by perhaps the most unserious politician I've seen on our platform, who came in coughing all over the place, marring the beauty of what could have been a very a beautiful process. That is one of the reasons why I wouldn't even want to talk about anything beyond the MPP and the NDC for now. And if it's possible, we could even have their running mates also engage in similar action. If we can do that, it will be very good for us. If we can't, I wouldn't beat my head over it too much, but I'll be very happy to see it happening.
What about the other candidates? I mean, you're restricting it to NPP, NDC, but you see, there is an Alan Chairman-Ting and the Movement for Change. Of course, he has backing from the National Interest Movement, so there are people like Dr. Abu Sakara in there. There is Nana Kwame Bediako, also known as Cheddar, who is also in there. There are a few other independent presidential candidates who have ready ahead. Of course, we don't know the other political parties in there and their flag bearers yet. But I mean, at least there is an Alan, there is a Cheddar, and others. I mean, you think it will take something away from the debate if we add them to it?
You see, the challenge is that you may have one or two candidates or one or more candidates. I mean, two or more candidates ganging up against a particular candidate. The debate should not be a forum that allow people to build coalitions. If you are a strong group, come in your own right. And politics is not done over one round of elections. You don't come in one time and suddenly become the messiah for the country. We've gone past that. If you really want to be taken serious, we need to see you building a political grouping over time. So if you are appearing for the first time, what are your credentials? Show it to us. I mean, you go into certain countries, I mean, take the U.S. democracy. You need to have garnered 5% after an election to be taken serious in the next one. Currently, as we speak, you may talk about PNC, CPP, whatever, all of them, they are there. GUM, all of them, they have been contesting elections. Together, what has been the percentage they've garnered? In the last election, if you take out the MPP and NDC, all the rest had about 1.1%. None of them, including anybody, could get a seat, including the independents. They couldn't get a single seat in parliament. I don't think until they can show that at the national level they can garner, say, 5%, they can get a seat in parliament. Of course, independents, I'm not going to use that as a basis. But a political party, they cannot get a single seat in 275 assembly. A political party that contests an election cannot get even up to 1% of the vote. I don't think we need to give them a seat on this debate. This is a serious platform that we want to build. And because, again, I'll go back to what happened in 2012. We should never allow anybody to come and joke on such a platform.
Very well, Dr. Frederick Oduro, we'll leave the conversation here. I'm grateful that you've spoken to us here on the Morning Star.
Dr. Frederick Oduro, governance expert, speaking to us here on the Morning Star with regard to this. I don't know what your thoughts are, but you can share them with us. We'll take a short break. When we return, we're bringing you back an interview that my colleague Natalie Fort did with the spokesperson for John Dramani Mahama, Joyce Bawa Mokhtari. Stay tuned in for that conversation, which will be right up after these.
Starr 712
Luck is everywhere for everyone, yeah.
Here's to